Welcome back to Talking Risks. It's a podcast by a couple of entrepreneurs for a whole lot of entrepreneurs. My name is Eric Reese, and I co-host this podcast along with Ricky Hall. Every week we have on business founders, business owners, C-level executives, and business consultants, and they tell us about their journey. They tell about the experience and their strategies and their failures and their victories and all along their path to achieving their legacies. And what we hope to do by this is really two things: advance our business education and yours, and also inspire some people, right? A lot of the lessons that we're learning from entrepreneurs, there's a theme in a lot of it, which is very exciting, right? We're finding a formula for entrepreneurship, but we hope to inspire others not only to continue to achieve their legacy, but, to step off, take a risk, and create a business, because there's no freedom or fear like owning your own business, and we're all about it. We are on location. We are at the beautiful Lake of the Ozarks, and when I say beautiful Lake of the Ozarks, I mean beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. This is where I will retire. This is where I would rather be. The lake is one of the most, if not the most, unique economies in the United States. And if you've not been to the Lake of the Ozarks, you ought to give it a try, and it's only getting better. We happen to be in one of my properties. You can find all of our properties at lozvacations.com. Again, my name's Eric Reese. I happen to be a CPA and a lawyer, not bragging or anything, but I own a law firm called Aspen Legal. You can find it on the web at aspenlawteam.com. Ricky Hall is my co-host.
Hi, I'm Ricky Hall. I'm the founder of Nutrition HQ and Nutrition HQ Franchising. And you can find me on the web at nhq.rocks, nhq.rocks.
All right, so the best part of our show is our guests always. It's certainly not me and Ricky, even though I'm very, very, very good looking. Our guests today are Michael and Sharon. Michael?
Good afternoon, evening, I guess, yes.
Yeah.
Michael Harmison.
That's it, right? That's it. Very short introduction. All right, how about your business? Because we're featuring it right here.
Yeah. Now, Michael Harmison, Harmey's Cheese Store. This is Sharon Wheeler. This is actually right up our wheelhouse, because entrepreneurship is something that I have made my share of mistakes.
Yep.
Trials and failures. My real job of 32 years is Harmison's Hometown Fundraising.
Awesome.
Throw a plug in there for any nonprofit organizations that sell cheese, sausage,
So you still do that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Right. So we will get to Harmey's Cheese Store. I said that right, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we will get to Harmey's Cheese Store. Not only are we having them on the podcast, but we also happen to be a customer. It's an awesome store. Probably needs a couple of more locations, quite frankly. I know they need one down KK because, a lot of times I'm getting out and my choices are only Rapid Roberts.
Lake Okoboji soon.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Very excited. But we'll get to that in a second. Before we do, though, we like to talk about a topic that Ricky and I have talked about over the last week. We call it Hot Topics. Hot Topics.
Smashing it today.
The hot topic today is scaling a business. And, man, have we talked about this a lot, right? And it all depends on the type of business you're in, how easy it is to scale. But one thing's for certain, you can't scale without additional manpower, right? And we talked about automating certain things and trying to gain more efficiencies. But in the end, if you need more work product or you need to sell more, you're going to need to scale with, among other things, more people. And, that's a challenge. I was talking to our maid service down here at the lake, and for her, it's, scaling is adding another $12 to $15 an hour worker, okay? Well, that's different than, say, my industry, where I gotta go hire a lawyer, right?
Right.
And if I say, "Hey, lawyer, I'm gonna pay you $15 an hour," chances are they're not gonna be all that great, right? No offense to $15 an hour workers, but usually they don't have Esquire after their name.
Right, and if I want to scale, I got an award of franchise, so I better have better systems and processes in place.
Yeah, and it's scary, right? It's scary because I know I need to scale. right? But in order to do that, you're going to have to cover that cost plus, right? Because you're scaling in order to generate more profit. So in my case, even let's say a part-time attorney, right? Somebody who works 20 hours a week, all right, with the salary plus the overhead allocation plus the benefits that I'm going to have to pay this person. I'm going to go have to sell another $120,000 to $130,000 easily to pay for this part-time person per year. And I know that that's possible, but again, that's the level I have to get to just make that scaling worthwhile.
Yeah, but I also think you need to know, do you really want to scale?
Yeah.
I've seen people scale and fail.
Yeah,
because
sure.
they're not a multi-store unit owner, or they don't want to run a big firm. So know where you want to be, and understand that.
Well, that's one thing also that, you know, I've talked to a lot of people. I'm assuming that everybody wants to scale, but certain people don't. Our guest from Jeffrey said, you know, we're pretty comfortable with where we're at. We could have a bigger bar, we could have a bigger restaurant, we could have a bigger kitchen, but we're pretty comfortable. And that's, by the way, that's not failure. That's satisfaction with where they are, right? And maybe that's a better route than I'm always thinking about how can I make this bigger and how can we do more work. Maybe sometimes I got to take a chill pill or drink more scotch. Well, that's probably not correct.
Probably not the latter.
Right.
Or hooch.
Or hooch, that's right. Yeah.
And we're going to get to that hooch, which is delicious, by the way. But maybe the answer is not to scale. Yeah, I think you're right.
And that's it. Like Tony's in St. Louis. He refuses to do a second location.
Yeah.
You know, he's relocated, but he would never do a second location because he goes, I want a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, if I go to a franchisee that's got $1 million location, I'm like, let's put a store on the south side, and he goes, why don't I make this a $2 million location? Like, what do you need from me?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Tony's was a bad choice because once the old man died, I mean,
the original Tony.
Yeah, that was the end of any scaling for sure, right? And now the new restaurant is in the basement of Centene, and Centene decided just never to go back to work for whatever reason. I don't even think they're coming back to work till September, right? Because of COVID. So scaling is a thing, right? And it certainly ought to be considered, but the cost of scaling needs to be considered, and that is what type of revenue do you need to drive in addition to what you're doing now in order to scale, in order to even pay for the scaling. But if you can figure it out, then, you know, more work product.
Yeah, you need to know the numbers.
Yeah, bigger footprint, et cetera. So talking about bigger footprint, Michael mentioned that Harmey's is opening up a second location.
Well, we are not technically, but Lake Okoboji, if you're familiar with that, northwest Iowa.
Okay.
A good friend of mine from Indian Knoll, Iowa, that's where I moved from. He has a convenience store up there, and he's got 1,000 square feet, and he wants to just, not franchise, he just wants to co-brand, and we'll deliver every 2 weeks.
Nice.
Harmey's products at Lake Okoboji, so very similar location up there, tourist, but it's colder. But they do a lot of winter things. They'll do snowmobile races. They'll tag a crappie with $10,000, and they'll do ice fishing tournaments and yeah. Beautiful.
How far away is that from Storm Lake?
It's right there.
Is it?
That's right there.
So I'm from Northeast Missouri, and we would go to Storm Lake in Pheasant Hunt.
That's right there. Yes.
Interesting.
Lake
Small world.
Okoboji,
It's a small freaking world.
Beautiful place. Yes.
Yeah, so that's exciting. That's an exciting venture, certainly. So he's going to put this inside of his C-store.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Very
exciting.
Cool. Right.
Correct.
So it's going to be essentially a display of your guys' products.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's scaling with not so much risk.
Very controllable.
Yeah.
It is, but the same thing you mentioned about hiring people, the problem they have right now is getting enough people to pay enough to work and cut up cheese and sausage and be there.
Don't get us started.
Not just behind a cash register, but being able to upsell and that sort of thing. So.
I think every guest we've had have made that exact same comment.
Or I can't find people to work. Right. Plenty of jobs. All right. What did the Harvard professor say the other day on CNN? The reason why unemployment is up is because there's no demand for labor. It's like, what moon are you living on? Right. I imagine Uranus.
Yeah.
You get that? So Uranus joke. That's probably not a moon. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Not really. All right. So Harmey's Cheese Store, the first time that I think I heard of the cheese store was probably a billboard. I saw a billboard, and did I see a billboard on 70?
No, you saw one in between Eldon and Osage Beach.
That's where I saw the billboard, and I go, hey, it's a cheese store. How could that be bad, right?
How big is your footprint?
1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
1,000. Okay.
1,000.
Very similar to my
yes.
split. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's packed. It's jam-packed with merchandise.
Yes.
It is.
Right? And, I mean, if you want to go there and you want to get something unique, right, for appetizers when you're sitting on the dock, sitting on the deck, looking at the lake, that's the place to go, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. And speaking of unique, you guys are branching out into liquor, and this is very exciting to me because, well, I like liquor. So tell us about this. I've sampled one.
Well, 6 years ago, we opened the store. The first year we did not have a liquor license. The second year we did.
How hard is that to get a liquor license?
It's difficult. That's a whole different subject, but you have to be approved locally, then you got to be approved for the state, and then the county, and then back locally. And seriously, it would have been easier just to hire an attorney to do that.
Yeah, sure. Oh, you did it all yourself?
Oh, yeah. Well, Sharon did most of it. We went through the whole process. We paid the fees. And
wow.
So once it's done, and we've since hired actually a liquor control company on retainer.
Consultants.
Wow.
They take care of all that for us.
Okay, good.
But difficult, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, so tell us about the product. We've got 5 different products here.
Yes, Harmey's Hooch has been about a year in the making. It's 30% alcohol. It's a flavored whiskey.
Can we show that to the right?
That's the blackberry. It's excellent in lemonade. But there you go. But it has Harmey the mouse holding a bottle of the Hooch.
Harmey the mouse.
Yeah.
Right.
Attention to detail.
Very cool.
But we went up to Higley, Missouri, Woodsman Distillery. We'd go up there every week or so and sample flavors.
And where is this?
Higley, Missouri, little town, about 35 miles north of Columbia.
And how did you find them?
Word of mouth. We actually contracted with a company down in Springfield.
Okay.
They sold theirs to a brewery and then went belly up.
Okay.
And Woodsman reached out to us, and we talked to them, and we sampled some of their product. We started carrying some of their bourbons in our store.
Okay.
And said, hey, we've had this idea for a year. And COVID hit, and everything shut down for a while, but we kept going up sampling products. And we settled on 30% alcohol because we didn't want it to hurt you.
Sure.
But we didn't want it too sweet.
Right.
Right.
So the caramel apple at one point, a little too much caramel, a little too much, of the apple. And our taste buds, their expertise, I think this is perfect. It's delicious.
Okay, that's awesome. So we talked about bourbon, the bourbon trail, right? Everything goes in the cask as hooch. That's what it goes in as, right? And it's rocket fuel. Okay, if you ever drank straight hooch, it's rocket fuel. This stuff is very smooth. I assume it's the flavorings that they add to it.
It is, and it's again, we didn't want very unique flavors because hardly anybody has pecan pie.
Sure.
No.
And that was very
yes.
good. Smells like pecan pie.
It does.
Tastes like pecan pie.
And the caramel apples, like the green caramel apples with the caramel around it.
Yeah.
The peach is great with the margarita mix. We call it a peacharita in our store.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Also fuzzy navels.
Awesome.
The blackberry with lemonade. And the most unique one that's delicious is jalapeno.
Huh.
It tastes like jalapeno. It has the bite. And we actually use from St. Louis Southside Alchemy, their Bloody Mary mix.
Wow.
With the Harmey's Hooch jalapeno. Delicious.
Wow. That's
Wow.
awesome.
Huh.
No reason to ever buy anything else.
No.
Right.
We were actually going to make our own Bloody Mary mix, but Southside Alchemy was better.
Oh, wow.
Why not? Yeah.
Yep.
So how's this going over with the customer?
It's going over great. We promoted it real well. You're talking about the one billboard. And I said between Eldon and Osage Beach. It was actually between Eldon and Jeff City. However, we have a brand new one going up between Eldon and the lake. Another brand new one going up south of town.
Now, see, in your business, that matters, right?
It does.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of radio advertising.
Oh, do you?
But there's like the 4 billboards. They should have about 250,000 people per week that drive by those billboards.
Wow. Yeah.
And if I can interject.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
anytime.
We've already gone to our second batch. 1 month in, we've already gone to our second batch.
Oh,
because
how
it's
big's
been
the
that
batch?
well received.
How big's the batch?
1,000 bottles.
Oh, wow.
Wow, congrats.
And that's
less
just
than a
YouTube.
month.
That's
Yes.
just YouTube. Forget the customers. Yeah.
We've had local grocery
That's
stores
nothing
and
to
some
brag
bars
about.
around the lake pick up our hooch.
Really?
That's awesome.
Well, congrats. That's good.
Well, and
that's great.
actually, Woodsman Distillery they sell our products retail. We can't. We just sell in our store.
Of course.
But Woodsman Distillery has a rep. They've been going around, and which are these little things here.
Wow.
These are Harmey's hooch shooters.
Yeah. Sure.
That Woodsman Distillery is going to be offering around the lake. So people come off, they go to a bar, and they see Harmey's hooch shooters.
Yeah.
Take one of those.
With the shot girl?
Oh, yeah.
That's the shot heard around the lake.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good branding. The shot heard around the lake.
That's
That's
right.
awesome.
But the owner of Woodsman, the daughter, she's been
Yeah.
out selling those for us down here, and so yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
You'll
yeah.
see it all across the lake.
So
It's
that's
gonna be
very
awesome.
exciting, right?
Yep.
Because it really brings a whole. I mean, once you get the liquor license, right? It really permits you to become something a lot more. And I'm not saying without the liquor you're nothing, but it really does open up a whole new way of thinking about your business.
Well, it does, and we're a cheese store.
Yeah.
And when you look at the numbers of cheeses up here, and Sharon does a real nice job of monitoring what sells.
Yeah.
And liquor has been way down the list.
Yeah.
Liquor just might pass cheese this year.
Wow. Yeah, excellent. So what does a bottle of this go for at the store?
$27.99.
Yeah,
Very
good.
affordable.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
And then Sharon brought on this Ozark distiller, or not Ozark, but the Ozark bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Number one seller in the nation. It's Manos wine out of Kansas City.
Yeah.
And we sell tons of those.
That's awesome.
And that's an etched bottle also, which
Yeah.
Yes,
it's
yes.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so take us back, right? Because I would think as you're sitting there, and I know that your business is fundraising, and so you're used to selling a lot of stuff, a lot of food products, and probably non-food products as well. These are school fundraisers, I assume?
Correct.
Yeah, so the kids are out there with catalogs, I assume, or taking orders from moms and dads and neighbors, et cetera. That's big business.
It is. I've been doing it for 32 years, and we were talking off air. Do you want me? Is it now a good time to tell the story?
Yeah, sure.
So the story is this: I vacationed down at Lake of the Ozarks for years. A buddy of mine owned a place.
Out of Iowa.
Correct.
Yeah. There's a lot of people from Iowa that come here. Yeah.
A lot of people. But
Yeah.
but I lived 12 hours south of Des Moines, Indianola, vacationed down here for years. And I
Yeah.
always said, when my son graduates, I'm moved to Lake of the Ozarks.
I've heard somebody else say that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And probably about 3 years before we moved down here, the bypass went in.
Yeah.
And down by Harley Davidson used to be the main drag business 54.
Yep.
And started looking at property and knowing I was going to move in a couple of years. And, of course, the bypass went in, a lot of businesses went under.
Yeah.
And the people called it the dead end.
Yeah.
And we'd come down here periodically and look at places and found this house. There's another story we can tell later, but...
It does dead end.
Oh, it does.
Right.
And so bought the house on 3 acres.
Yeah.
And my real job, I sell fruit, cheese, cookie dough
Yeah.
to mainly FFAs.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with those, blue and yellow.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Future Farmers of America.
exactly.
That's right, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's called Harmison's Hometown Fundraising.
Okay.
And I went to college in Warrensburg, and all my fraternity brothers called me Harmey.
Warrensburg.
Yep.
Who else went to college in Warrensburg?
Sean.
Yeah. Central Missouri?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
See how I know my colleges?
And I'd wrestled down there, and Harmey was my nickname, and
Funny.
one day we were talking about a cheese store and Harmey, and I still remember us sitting in Osceola, Iowa, Taco Bell, talking to Sharon on the phone. I'm writing on a napkin, what about a little mouse? And then Harmey, and then
Cheese.
how
Mouse.
yeah, and the Y comes across the belly, and that's the Y, and
Yeah.
the ears, and drew it on a napkin, and
Yeah.
then
That's awesome.
moved down here, bought the building.
But but cheese wasn't something. I mean, this wasn't foreign to you. This product was
Right.
not foreign to you.
I
This
mean-
was not. I think I'll have a cheese store.
correct,
Right.
and I do a little bit about cheese and
Yeah.
nothing about retail.
Yeah.
It pretty much was that. It's like,
Oh.
what are we going to do when we move to the Lake of the Ozarks
Yeah.
when kids aren't fundraising?
Have
I
a
don't
cheese
know.
store.
I don't know. People like Wisconsin cheese. We've been selling that and sausage. Why don't we open a cheese store?
Yeah. What could go wrong?
Well, and then bought the building, and it was kind of funny. There's a Lake Realty building.
Okay.
Offices downstairs, 1,000 square feet. And,
Yeah.
and we gutted it ourselves.
Yeah.
We got some pallet wood from down in Joplin, Missouri.
Yeah.
Quarter a board. I tell you, we did it ourselves. And I tell you, a lot of Bud Light went into those walls.
Yeah. I imagine.
And-
It's really a neat space inside. Very
It is.
comfortable.
Well, and as business partners, we work well together because I jump off the deep end. Let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And she holds back, and she was some vacation, and the Lake of the Ozarks got a hold of me, a chamber.
Yeah.
And there was only a couple dates available for open house.
Okay.
Grand opening. So I picked one.
Okay.
And I called it, by the way, we're opening in a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, at least the store was done and fully stocked.
It wasn't
No,
done.
it was not. Not even close.
So I had a deadline and went with it, and everybody come in and said, cheese store at Lake of the Ozarks at the dead end.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
And I said, well, I've got a side gig too, and it's doubled every year, and now it's destination, and
we've
just been
increased
amazing.
business every year over the previous year.
And what year did this open?
14.
Yeah, that's amazing. Great.
6-year anniversary coming up. Our celebration is May 22nd.
That famous get to that 5-year mark.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
Well, but that's the thing. It's a destination. It's a destination. It's a
It
lake
is a
destination.
Well, tell the
and
story.
that's how we market it.
Tell the story of that guy that said he came by 6 years ago and said that he didn't think you'd make it.
Oh yeah, we've been told we wouldn't think you'd make it.
Oh.
We're totally surprised, and it's like we've exceeded every single year from the previous year. Up
That's
to
awesome.
6 year, and we're
Yeah.
just going
And
strong.
Absolutely love it here, and I tell people, especially now with the COVID, that's another my opinion on that. But point is I don't want to go. I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't want to vacation anywhere. I don't want to travel anywhere.
Yeah, that's the way I feel down here.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been very blessed.
It's funny when I opened my very first nutrition store, opened in Kirksville, Missouri, small farm town.
I work with them.
Yeah, and I figured it out.
Yep.
And I was standing in line at Ace Hardware picking up some supplies, and the guy, I can't remember his name, he was like, hey, what you got going on now? I was like, well, I've got 4 stores down in St. Louis. And he like turned around like stunned. He goes, you made that work. And I was like, yeah. He goes, I never would have bet it.
Yeah. So
You're
get out of my
sell
store.
vitamins in Kirksville, Missouri.
If people had bet on us, and I won't say that there's a lot of people that said, I didn't think you would survive.
So
So
you had a vision.
So
exactly.
The feel of, all right, and we've talked about this. When you're down at the lake, your mind changes. Mine certainly does, right? The first time I came to the lake, my wife brought me here because my dad was big on Table Rock. So we'd drive the 5.5 hours down to get to Table Rock Lake, which is a very nice lake, and I'm a fan of Branson, etc. This is much more accessible and much different than Table Rock Lake, for sure. But the first time that I came across the dam, and I came up on Business 54, I got the feeling of destined. That's the feeling that I get, that I'm on vacation, right? And that's never changed. I always feel the same way as I come across that dam and start making my way up to HH and 54. I feel like I'm at the lake. We have the signs in all the houses. You're at the lake, relax, relax, etc. That is the feeling that you get. And one of the reasons, in my opinion, that Harmey's has been successful is that's part of it. This is part of the lake experience, is now that you've got the liquor license, the wine and the cheese, and you're treating yourself, for sure.
Well, most definitely. And for the first 4 years, I mean, we worked days, weekends. I moved down here to enjoy the lake during the summer.
Sure.
And I was working the whole time.
Down here to relax.
And so last summer I made a personal commitment. I mean, I don't knock out, if I got to work, I got to work. But I'm going to have fun. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing that. I know she's doing that.
Yeah.
But we work our tails off and we love it here. And
sure.
In fact, you're talking about entrepreneurship. We talked about this for years, and finally we did it last year. You guys probably don't know this, but last February we purchased a brand new 2014 Kawasaki jet ski. 2020.
Yeah.
Yellow and black.
Yeah.
A local guy put a box on the back, a metal box.
Yeah.
And it holds 2 10-gallon coolers.
And
we take cheese and sausage trays, and we have them shrunk wrapped with beef sticks from burgers. We've
talked about this.
Ellsworth Creamery cheese curds, and we go out on weekend. Harmey's cheese on skis. We sell cheese and sausage trays off the back of a jet ski.
That's awesome.
That is great.
And how do you do
every
that?
weekend.
Do you go to particular coves, or what do you do?
We've gone to several different ones. Our most successful cove has been the Old Party Cove down by 52. That's been most successful. Right
back in the state park.
Yep.
Yeah.
By Girl Scout Cove across from that's pretty good, because they're your typical Lake of the Ozarks. Like, go out for breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink all day, and since I had a big breakfast, I don't need to eat till tonight.
Yeah. Right. Until the food shows up.
Exactly.
And then about 1 o'clock, here comes the old jet ski with cheese and sausage.
Yeah.
And another funny story about that was they originally were $24.
Yeah.
And we sold the same cheese and sausage tray for $22 in our store.
Yeah.
But about halfway through the day, got thirsty and told somebody, I'll tell you what, $20 in a beer.
Yeah.
So that is the price now. $20 in a beer.
That's funny.
For a Harmey's cheese and sausage
that is
tray.
hilarious.
We get the beer.
Yeah, that's not fair.
By the end of the day,
That's right.
You swim to shore and they go, hey, where's the jet ski? Huh?
Well, and shootout last year, Captain Ron was excellent. He let us put a booth, and the tiki boat had extra cheese and sausage. We'd run out, we'd go back there.
That's awesome.
And we made every cheese and sausage tray we could the night before. We made 123 of them. I'm thinking they're not going to sell.
Sold out.
What are we going to do with these cheese and sausage trays?
Sell them.
I had no doubt.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're going to make them all.
We sold a bunch, and then they had a rain delay.
Yeah.
And we went back 3 hours later. People had drank more, and they're more hungry. We sold 123 in 6 hours.
Wow. Amazing.
And a big portion of that went back to that charity.
It did.
So that's what that was all about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great. So you really were going against the odds, right? You were doing something that does sound unfamiliar.
Yeah,
right?
you brought something new, a new concept, a new thought to.
Well, if you're
your
from
lake.
Wisconsin, a cheese store,
yeah.
you see them up
Everywhere,
there,
yeah.
right? But a cheese store here is different. It's unique, all right? And you bought on a dead-end street, right? I mean, you're bucking the trend here, and probably bucking a lot of people's advice. So what was that first year or so like to get established?
We worked the store.
Yeah.
And since we have a fundraising business in the same building, in the back office.
Okay, so it was a dual-purpose building.
It was.
So the building was technically making money. It wasn't a liability. It was an asset.
It was an office. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But it was at the point where when we first started that we'd be working fundraising business.
Okay.
And somebody would come into the store and the door buzzer would go off. We'd be able to roll our eyes and look.
Right.
We're too busy. Do you want to help them? And then you put the smiley face on and say,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And then we got one employee, and then two employees, and then three employees. We just had our 6-year anniversary. We're going to celebrate this week, but Saturday was our 6-year anniversary.
Wow,
on
congrats.
a Saturday.
Yeah.
In this time of the year, the off season, we had our single most record day this last Saturday.
Oh,
That's
my
crazy.
gosh.
I love it.
Yes,
That's
and it's
great.
only going to get
It's just
better.
going to get tons better.
Yeah. So
Now, how many times can you break that record by the end of season?
I'm waiting to see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so speaking of scaling, that place is jam-packed with merchandise. Have you thought about expanding that space?
Well, yes. In fact, we've got I don't know if you've been by recently. We just had built a 6,000 square foot building behind Harmey's.
Holy moly!
Fundraising. October through December, we work with about 300 schools nationwide.
Wow!
And last year was about 150 because of COVID.
Yeah.
But they'll be back in droves.
Of course.
But October through December, we pack tons of cheese and sausage and cookie dough and fruit and now with Ballpark Nationals. That's a great location. We're sponsors of theirs. So October through December, it'll be jam-packed with our products, cheese, sausage, cookie dough, fruit.
So that 6,000 square foot space doubles as a retail space.
Well, no. What's going to happen is right now, there's a middle section of 2,500 square feet that during the summer we'll have bag tournaments, we'll have concerts there. We're at little concerts.
Smart.
My daughter's getting married there in August.
Good.
Wow.
But we also have an 854 square foot freezer.
Wow.
And an 854 square foot refrigerator for fundraising cookie dough, cheese, and sausage. But Jeffrey that you had on earlier,
yeah, sure.
Him and I have been in contact because lobsters is going to be in short demand.
Yeah.
And we're going to lease out space,
He needs to stock up.
and cold storage.
Yeah.
Somebody told me the other day that chicken wings are shorted.
Yes,
they
there
are.
is. Yep.
Yeah.
Had that freezer been open 3 months ago,
You
people
could-
would have bought it by pallets and be sitting on it. So we're going to lease it out by the pallet for anybody listening.
Sure. Yeah.
It actually open here in a couple of weeks because the freezer's turned on, it's cooled down, and anything
roll,
cold, or we'll have about 64 pallets worth that will rent out per month.
Yeah.
And then come October, when the lake slows down, we'll use it for fundraising.
So with your liquor license for the bag tournaments, etc., so you can serve there on premises, or do people have to buy and pour on premises? How does that work?
We can currently serve in Harmey's.
Oh.
They are in the process right now of getting to the liquor license for the event center.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Very good.
Yeah.
That's called the Rec. If it's casual, or if you want to do a wedding, it's the Royal Event Center.
Ah, very good. Yeah.
And again, going back to FFAs, that's why it's blue and yellow.
Okay.
For
Oh,
FFA
that makes
colors.
sense. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Very
And
interesting.
eventually, we will put a Harmey's cheese store right in front of that, and and see if you want to talk more about that, because that's the plan. That's
exactly. You're talking about
plan.
Harmey's, the rec center. In front of that, it's right now 1,000 square feet. The plans are already drawn up for a 2,400 square foot facility attached to the rec center.
Okay.
The existing Harmey's will come down, and all that will be parking.
Oh, wow.
Talk about scaling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's exciting.
The thing that we do down at Harmey's Cheese Store that's different than any place else around we sample virtually everything in our store.
So
you want to try some wine, you want to try all of our wines are local.
Yeah.
Wine and spirits are local.
Yeah.
Harmey's Hooch, you want to try that? You want to try some wine? You want to try some other spirits?
Sure.
All local. We sample all of that. We sample cheese. We sample pickles. We everything.
Yeah, we do the same thing in our stores. Somebody goes, "Are you doing a protein powder?" I can't even stand that stuff. You like salted caramel? Let me make you a salted caramel. And they'll see us mix it with water.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'll take a tub."
Yeah.
But I think the stat, and this comes from Costco, 82% of the people that try a sample purchase.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
I can guarantee you, we have over 100 local products. So 150 Wisconsin cheeses, over 150 Wisconsin cheeses. People love Wisconsin cheese, right? We'll never veer from that. But we support local. We love small business. If you have a small business and your product fits our store, if we sample it, out of the box. I mean, it's just crazy. Once you sample it, we sell so much of it. We've got so many, over 100 local products. We sample it, people will buy it.
So tell us the challenges of distribution, because this, I assume, a Cisco truck doesn't pull up and deliver all this fancy stuff. This has to come from multiple distributors, I would think.
Well, actually, not so much. Several from St. Louis.
Yeah.
I'll actually make a St. Louis run periodically.
Yeah.
Have you heard of goose poop?
Goose poop? No. Well, I've heard of it.
I've heard of like the real goose poop.
Yeah, no. St. Louis.
You might want to try our goose poop.
Yeah, it's a pickle relish. But anyway, so I'll make in the south side of Alchemy, and then we've got down in Washington, Missouri. But no, we have a truck every week that shows up and has lots of our cheese items.
And where are they coming from?
Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah, they used to be out of Wisconsin. They were corporate structure. They bought out.
Yeah.
But they're pretty good. Every week they show up.
Okay.
And of course the local beer distributors, they show up weekly. We have a couple 3 deliveries each week, but then literally she'll go to Kansas City, buy some stuff. I'll go to St. Louis and pick up some stuff. And
I see.
We do go and pick up all of these most of these products, local products ourselves.
Yeah. So you're a part of the distribution channel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, the dude from Shrimp Daddies, he actually goes down and gets a shrimp from Louisiana, drives down there with his refrigerated trailer and grabs them. I can't remember. He told me how often he goes down there. He goes down there a lot.
Well, see, now with the local freezer facility, go down half as much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so, but Harmey's at the beginning, no matter how well it took off, et cetera, what made you decide, because you had a good gig going, right? You were doing well. You wanted a business that was more fun, more personal, what were you after?
I think we were after an added revenue stream.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
fair enough.
We talk about that often. Yeah.
Right? I mean, we could do it in the fall, but why not utilize our premises,
of course,
for both sides of the shoulder season and
Yep. We talk about that often. Multiple streams of revenue coming in, right?
Well, and that's why fundraising is just the opposite. I mean, up until 6 years ago, I never had cash flow in the summer. School's out, nobody's fundraising. I always tell people I'm kind of like a farmer. I mean, you plant the crop, you buy the fertilizer, and then finally you harvest.
Sure.
When fundraising, you harvest January and February, and then you don't harvest again until the next year.
Wow.
And we need the freezer space, we need the cooler space, but we only need it for about 3 months.
Interesting.
What business down here is just the opposite? Tourism.
Right. Of course. So Harmey's is open year round.
Correct.
Yeah. Because some of the restaurants, I know that Jeffrey's does. And I don't know. I think that that's going by the wayside, right? That these restaurants are closing. I know that in the winter we would go to Baxter's and we would go to J.B. Hook's at the time when Jeffrey's was closed. And I got to tell you, they were still pretty crowded.
They are. And COVID's been great.
Yeah. I think the last year with COVID has changed everything,
so
especially down here.
Yeah, what were your thoughts, right? Because our thoughts were, oh, my God, we got millions of dollars of real estate, and the bank's going to have to take it all at the beginning of last year when everyone went COVID crazy. And then all of a sudden, it was like, I cannot believe what's happening, right?
No, it's amazing. And for about 6 weeks, Sharon did the numbers on it, we were down like 65% when we first started.
Yeah.
It was
scary.
Very scary.
Of course.
But it was 65% of the slow season.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, well, you saw the TMZ thing down here, backwater.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, it's
awesome.
It's the flu. Let's
Thank
have
you.
fun, get
Right.
over it. And you could not get enough negative publicity. And I always tell people, when we decided to go full board, they said, now, do we need to social distance? I said, that's up to the customers. They want their mask, wear their mask.
Right, of course.
But since then, business went through the roof. Anybody that works from home, and they have a lake house, they work from home down here.
Yeah,
they called Bike Fest a super spreader event, so I was a super spreader.
Well, and speaking of Bike Fest earlier, you know where Harley Davidson is?
Yeah.
We're a quarter mile down the road, and there was bikes parked on the side of the road all the way to our cheese store from Harley Davidson.
Oh, wow.
That packed. Yes.
Yeah, and that was what was so remarkable last year was, and I know Jason Bateman had something to do with it, and it's not about whether Ozark, Ozark failed in Georgia. Who gives a shit? You're missing the point, okay? It put the Lake of the Ozarks, big-ass lake in the middle of Missouri that no one knew about. Now it's known on a national scale.
Put it top of mind.
And when we started getting guests last year from New York and from California, we knew, they know who we are now, right? And it's amazing. It's so much fun, right?
Well, and I loved about it, too, is because, I'm having more fun now.
Yeah.
But my daughter was down last summer. We went to Coconuts, and I told my daughter, I said, what's neat about this place is, regardless of what you hear about national media, doesn't care what sex you are, what color you are, people are out there having fun, spending money. And all this social divide you hear about, not here.
No.
Correct.
Where that social divide exists is on the media. It's all media driven.
Exactly.
It's not human driven.
By the way,
either a good person or a bad person.
Media driven too.
And I use it as media, but I mean, but media is fueling it.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
So turn off the news.
Yeah,
I did this. I did just that.
Yeah,
the day of the election, I canceled all of my stuff, and I just read it.
It's exactly what we did.
Yep.
Yeah, and all my news apps got off the telephone.
In February 2014, I did a news purge, and I just don't watch it. You don't need it.
So tired of the same story day after day, and now since March of last year, everything's about COVID. Every day when I go into the gym, they've got the news on, and every story is still about COVID. And it's like, don't you have anything to talk about other than COVID? Now it's about, do you have the shot? Did you get the shot? They're giving the shot here. Did your kid get the shot? Right? It's like,
are you getting the shot?
Enough. No, I ain't getting the shot.
I'm not
okay?
either.
Yep. You're not injecting. You're not doing a government injection. We've talked about that long and hard. So,
we've been getting a government injection for many years. So I don't need.
Yeah, in the wrong place, right? Not in the arm, right? That's for sure. So so Harmey's Hooch, which is delicious, is a new product. What else? Now you have to be thinking about more proprietary products because a lot of thought went into having this proprietary liquor. So what's next for the proprietary items that you guys want to offer?
Well, we have several people around the lake and outside of the lake looking for our product that has Harmey's Cheese Store. We, not just Harmey's Hooch, but we have a private label jams, jellies, pickles, relish, all of that kind of stuff that we have been integrating out into outside of the Lake of the Ozarks. That people have recognized our brand and Warrensburg, Iowa,
Boy,
Kansas
but that's
City.
a whole new business, though, because now you're working on pennies, right? Distributors got to get paid, and the co-packers got to get paid, and the grocery store is now making 30%. When I was a kid, the grocery store's margin was 1%. I'm not kidding, 1%. Now grocery stores demand 30%, right? Wow. So you got to start with them. That's 30% of retail, and now you back off and you figure, okay, we're making 10 cents per bottle, but it's
branding.
Well, it's branding, and the other benefit is volume.
Yeah.
right? It's all about volume
And
in
I
the
will
food
say,
business.
Hy-Vee is all about local too. Hy-Vee is great with local products.
Hy-Vee's
they're
humongous, by the way.
and they're
Yes.
also consider themselves locally owned. Doesn't the employees get
Employee
family
owned.
owned?
family owned?
Yes.
That's it.
Employee
Yeah.
owned.
Yes.
Employee owned. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. Yep.
But no, Hy-Vee, they're great. They promote local products, and they're good people. Yeah.
My wife's favorite grocery store at the lake is Hy-Vee.
I mean, that's my store in Quincy's next to Hy-Vee. That's why I went there, because of Hy-Vee.
We
Yeah.
have restaurants around the lake that use our products on sandwiches. And
See, that's great.
Yep.
Wow.
That's great branding.
Paintbox
That's amazing branding.
Paintbox Cafe uses one of our relishes on their sandwich.
So how did you get in there? Did they come find you, or did you present it to them?
Both.
Or both. A little bit of both.
Yeah, we reached out to the Hy-Vee. And
Yeah.
they're nice to talk to the manager. And
Awesome. Well,
That's
and
well done.
Yeah, and the owners of restaurants are people too, so they probably
Exactly.
shopped at Harmey's and said, "Hey, look."
Yep.
Well, that just shows you the hustle.
Yeah.
You know, you could sit there at the store level and just do it that way, or you can still go out and hustle. And
Of
the jet
course,
ski thing is brilliant. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
and we put coasters in every cheese and sausage tray for 10% off at Harmey's.
Drives everybody back to the store, and
Of course.
we got a banner that flies on the back of the jet ski that if they didn't buy a cheese
Yeah.
tray that time, they see
They still
Harmey's
see
cheese
ya.
store on the back. Yeah.
Tell us about advertisement, right? We talked about the billboards, and we talked about some of the stuff that you include the promotional items with the purchase, etc. But how difficult is that to determine the right way to advertise your store and your products?
We're still learning. We do a lot of radio advertising with some
Advertising.
We do. However,
Okay.
we still do.
Yeah.
But we put some money towards billboards this year. We're going to see how that goes. Now,
Yeah.
Sharon's her side business. For real promotions, a little promotion, little side gig for her.
Yeah.
But it's turned out real well. We do the coasters I was talking about.
Okay.
But she does anybody that has T-shirts, hats, pins, pencils, anything you want promoted, she can do that.
Oh.
And we just ordered.
You produce those, Sharon?
I do.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay, very
So
good.
keep that in mind for real promotions.
Yeah.
But one of my part-time jobs, I think we just got 20,000 of these coasters.
Okay.
We give them to restaurants and bars. So sometimes my part-time job is I'll go around to restaurants and bars and give them coasters and have a beer or two with them.
Of course.
And
Absolutely.
then the coaster talks about Harmey's, and you flip it on the back. There's 10% off coupon. So people come to the store. I got this at Tire Butters. I got this at Backwater Jacks. I got
Excellent.
this.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
you can track the ROI. It's a little bit
of
harder on
course.
the.
You
It's a little
count
bit
the
harder
coasters.
on the radio stuff and
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when people come in, we have a great staff. We have a very loyal, dedicated staff.
Yeah.
And we could probably use another one or two people, but our staff is spot on. We provide customer service like nobody's business,
Right.
and it's we have people with our. We have a Harmey's Bags and Brew tournament that starts every Wednesday after Memorial Day. We
Yeah.
have a bag toss cornhole tournament.
Yeah.
We have people that come in just for that event. They come 1 week down to the lake. And
Wow.
they come every single
Oh,
Wednesday that they're down here. They come to Harmey's.
I know that because
yeah.
we have renters over in our Margaritaville homes that say we're here for the cornhole tournament.
There you
It's
go.
like, and Ricky, don't get excited. Cornhole tournament. We'll explain what that is later. It's not what you're thinking it is.
That's Eric's twisted
Yeah,
mind.
exactly.
That's where his head is.
That's a different tournament.
Yeah.
Well, what's unique about
Sitting
ours?
here with three guys. Oh my gosh!
Right. Ricky's a 3-time state champion, by the way.
Well, we're kind of unique. We started this like 5 years ago. We were. I'm not going to say we're the first. One of the first at Lake of the Ozarks. What's unique about our bags tournament is it's a draw tournament. Cost nothing.
Yeah.
And we have sponsors every week, so we draw.
Well, it's brilliant because whose product do you think they're going to be buying?
Ricky could draw somebody who's never played before, and win or lose draw. And it's a double elimination tournament. We start about 6. We draw for teams. We have sponsors.
Yeah.
So different vendors will sponsor, and they'll basically they bring free stuff.
Yeah.
And we have a $6 meal, and they play bags and
That's
Bucket
awesome.
specials. And
Yeah.
This is a fun time.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. Yeah,
People
absolutely.
put it on their calendar every year. They come down to the lake 1 week a year, and they always come
That's
to Harmey's
amazing.
Cheese Store to go
Destination,
get bags and
location.
brew.
Your guys' marketing is spot on.
They're creating a
Thank you.
destination event, and it's all in tune with what the lake is.
And then how much are you on social media then? Are you
lot.
hitting that a lot
A lot.
also? Yeah, so you're omni-marketing. You're everywhere.
Well, I'm kind of like a
try.
Facebook addict.
Yeah. No, that's where you want to be.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard not to be, right?
is,
It
yeah.
becomes a habit, and then, for me, it's the first thing in the morning. It really is. It's like, okay, what did people eat for last night.
Oh yeah,
or whatever.
I just got my first smoker and I smoked a big old meat. I had to put that out there.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. All right. So the future for Harmey's is pretty bright. You're going to keep on expanding. You're going to keep on distributing out your product. This stuff is just going to continue to be a hit, obviously. I mean, this is perfect lake liquor as far as I'm concerned.
And this is the first summer with it, right? Yeah.
It is the first summer.
So this is going to be exciting a year from now when we come back and revisit.
But
well, we have our own unique Harmey's lake water, our signature lake water. It's lemonade based, and we use Cardinal Sin vodka and some other blue stuff.
See, now with that liquor license, you're taking off.
It's the number one selling, and now the Pizzeria, the Hoochie Coochie Pizzeria is now in now second and as a batch drink, and people love it.
Have you ever thought about your own distillery one day?
No,
that's too much work.
I don't want that.
That seems like a lot of work. Yeah,
but speaking of the margarita or the lake water, we actually are one of the top 10. What is it called? Top 10 happy hour specials at the lake. We have from every day except Wednesday because of bags. $2 lake water from 3 to 6.
Wow,
$2.
And you get to take home a color changing souvenir cup.
And it has
can't get that in
a Swedish fish in it.
Wow.
You can't have a lake water without a fish.
Yeah, right. That's fantastic.
That's great.
You are going to need the parking.
Exactly.
For sure. Because I think the last time I was there, I parked in front. Was there rock parking? I can't remember. Was there rock parking or paved parking?
There's
I can't
paved
remember.
up front. We have rock out back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
asphalt in the front. And rock out back. But we've evolved because now we have a drive around.
Oh.
It's a circle parking.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Plus more parking in the back now.
Yeah. So what are the challenges? What are some of the challenges? We've heard that employees are obviously, are often a struggle. Hiring is a struggle. What are some of the challenges that you guys are facing now?
Employees a little bit, but like Sharon said, our staff is solid.
Yeah.
But we need what used to be.
And how are they solid? Why are they solid?
They're loyal. They're reliable. Yeah. They're spot on customer service. They go the extra mile.
And how do you find them? What do you use for a vetting tool to determine whether these people are going to work out or not?
Well, I mean, you hire them, you don't know, and I've been guilty of. We both have. You hire somebody, they look great, and then all of a sudden 2 weeks in, you're like, I don't know, and then 2 weeks in, you're like, what did I think?
Yeah.
But also, no, there was one gal that was a friend of ours, and she had lost her job, and hey, try this.
Yeah.
And she's solid.
All right.
But that's also a culture created by you guys. That helps.
Well, we always say good cop, bad cop. She's on him, and I'm the nice guy.
Interesting.
I have a humans relations. I always have a degree in that, so that's kind of my wheelhouse. So I kind of have to dot the I's and cross the T's sort of thing, and he's the good cop.
That's a good business partner.
But we have an employee that's been with us for over 3 years, and another one that's been a year, and we keep hiring. But it's just you just don't know until you hire them. But I mean, we've got a really good staff.
But we've had challenges.
Them to,
we hired two 20-year-olds this year, not knowing, of course, the liquor laws. And one the day before she showed up said, "Hey, I found a different job." The other lasted 1 day and said, not my thing.
Really?
But we do need employees.
What are the liquor laws with respect to the ability? I mean, if you're selling this sealed. How old do you have? I mean, do you have to have
You can be 18.
You can be 18.
To sell that. But if you're going to serve it, you have to be 21.
I see.
Literally, if I poured a beer and hand it to a 20-year-old, they could hand it to Ricky. But they could not pour that beer and hand it to Ricky.
Oh, interesting.
But we have other people on staff to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, our customer base is pretty much our generation, right? That's our demographic.
Yeah, so let's talk about your
50,
customer base. It's 50s, 50s, 60s.
You get younger families in there, but that's kind of that's our workers are
people who appreciate what you're selling.
Yeah.
Well, and that perfect example is that when we first started, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah,
we got ice cream sandwiches and ice cream, and
Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, I think I ate more than we sold.
He did.
Sure. And we're like, we don't do that. We're not in that business.
Of course.
My dad used to always say, you try anything once,
of course,
and the fun stuff more.
Yeah.
But we've learned. We used to do taffy. Taffy was fine, but took up a lot of room and not a lot of margin. And
sure.
You learn. I mean, try it, doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do love supporting local products.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really because we are so tourist driven.
Sure.
I mean, we do have a lot of locals that support us.
Yeah.
But there's people that have never seen goose poop or any of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we want to expose them to that. And
Well,
let them
actually,
try it, and they love it because they can't
it's
get
a
it back
double
home.
benefit, right?
Yes.
Because they can't get it back home.
Exactly.
So Harmey's becomes, again, more of a destination location because they got to go
Exactly.
get my goose poop. And,
Yep.
you know, they're bringing a friend to the lake who's never been. It's like, oh, we're going to show you the lake and we're going to go here and going to go here. And then we got to go get goose poop. It's like, oh, my God, goose poop. What is that? Right.
Well,
Welcome to the lake.
Tourists don't want to come down here and buy something to buy locally. They
Right,
want to buy
of
something
course.
only at Lake of the Ozarks.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it was funny because I went to my family was in town, my kids were in town, and so I took them over to Bridal Cave, and we went and toured that, and overheard two couples saying, "Hey, we're going to go to Harmey's Cheese Shop after we're done here." And I was
Doesn't
like,
feel good.
"Oh, what's Harmey's Cheese Shop?" And I was just kind of playing dumb.
Right.
And it's like, oh my God, it's the most awesome place. You can have a drink while you shop. You can try all these samples. They sample virtually everything in the store. And I finally told them who I was, but they were all in. I mean, that was already on their plan. After they left the cave, they were going to go to Harmey's Cheese Store.
I got to tell you my Bridal Cave story. Okay, we've been a couple times, and it's a lot of fun. We've also been to Jacob's Cavern, Jacob's Cave, and that was a lot of fun as well. At any rate, so at Bridal Cave, they have two gift shops, one up top of the hill and one at the bottom of the hill, right at the entryway, okay? And my son and I were in there, and they were selling these hard hats, yellow hard hats with miners' lights on them, okay? Way too expensive. But I said to my kid, he was 10 2 years ago, I said, watch this, all right? The group's forming out here. I buy one of these hats. I go out and turn it on, and I said, let's go, people. And I start walking into the cave, and everybody's following
That's
me.
hilarious.
I got the tour guide. The tour guide's coming down. Wait.
That's hilarious.
My kid still reminds me of that. It's awesome.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing much e-com?
We do some.
Some?
Yes, yeah.
It's just not.
It either
Is shipping a pain in the ass, though?
It is. Yeah. It is. It's a very nominal fee, but we just haven't been able to generate that traffic. More at Christmas time, but
That makes
we
sense.
just got to figure out how to gen that up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
where we really need to work.
I think SEO. What do you think, Eric?
I hate search engine optimization. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. And I think there are a bunch of
There's
consultants running
so
around.
many avenues and so many people
Yeah.
trying to hit you up on all that stuff,
Yeah.
but it's just, oh my gosh, you can spend all your time working on that.
Yeah, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
We're going to charge you $100,000, and we're going to do some SEO here. So when people put Harmey's Cheese Store in Osage Beach, you might be on the first page. It's like,
Very good.
thank you.
We
so
don't
much.
put our marketing dollars into that.
No.
No, and
That's a
I think it's smart.
move.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you guys got it. This is good.
Well, you don't have to.
I was just
because
curious
you're
because-
unique in a unique economy. I mean, who else? I'm trying to think. I mean, I can't think of one venue, and I'm sure you guys are more familiar than me, but I can't think of who I would say that's definitely a competitor of yours.
I don't think there's anyone. We support competing businesses.
Sure.
We do. I mean, they support us. I mean, right down the road, I mean, we have a brewery, and we sell beer, they sell beer. We go play bags there. They come. We support each other.
Is that the distillery down on KK?
No.
I've not been down there. Have you?
It's a beer brewery.
Oh, okay.
500 yards down the road.
Oh,
it is?
Ozark Brewery. Yeah.
You can walk there.
Yeah.
Ozark Brewery.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I've not sampled that beer. I have sampled from Ozark Distillery.
Damsel in Distress at the Ozark Brewery is awesome. Or if
is
you want
it?
any other craft beers, spot on. And they have great pizza.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll have to go check that
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
You go from Harmey's right down there.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
and then back to Harmey's.
And then back to Harmey's.
Part of the problem that I have with some of these distilleries when they're selling bourbon is they're just selling bourbon too young. And, you know, there's a reason why a lot of bourbon is aged 10 plus years, right?
And I agree.
Yeah.
We picked this one just because it tastes good. They knew
Yeah.
the expertise, but we were able to select the liquor content.
Of course.
We tried some liquor that was too tough, sometimes too sweet. 30% to me is not your girly
Right.
sweet drinks.
No, of course
but,
not.
But it's not going to hurt you either. Most
Yeah.
Jack Daniels like 35. This is 30.
Yeah.
And this blackberry
Yeah.
smells like blackberry, tastes like blackberry.
Yeah. See, that can get messed up because you drink a whole bottle.
Fire.
Right.
You can drink it straight, or you can mix it with lemonade. But it's spot on.
Right.
True to taste.
Yeah.
True to smell.
Yeah. Or drink it out of a milk glass.
Well, exactly.
Right.
And I just like it cold. I mean, it's just out of the
Poured in your grandma's blackberry pie.
Yep.
I love liquor cold. Yeah.
And another thing. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, good.
No, you like pie?
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, of course. So March 22nd or May 22nd, our 6-year anniversary, we're debuting because we got some pies that we have already in the store from a local lady down here called the Artful Pie. But we have taken our flavored whiskeys and she's creating infused pies. We've got a hoochberry pie.
You guys are all about the hooch now.
We've got our twisted apple pie.
They got a liquor license to lick at them. They won't stop.
We've got a peach buzz pie, and what is this
Pecan.
one?
Right.
Shut your pecan pie hole pie.
Oh, that's great.
All infused with our Hermes hooch, and they are delicious because we've already taste tested them.
We're going to come back in 2
them,
years. We're going to come back in 2 years, do this podcast again, and everything's going to be infused with liquor.
Oh, yeah.
It's out of the bottle. You can't stay in the bottle. You got to get out of the box and out of the bottle.
Right, that's awesome.
It's in coffee. It's in pies.
That's
we
funny.
don't keep it bottled up.
That's awesome.
Well, right next to us, it's not open yet, but it's a
dispensary.
That's opening up soon. I said,
yeah,
cheese infused.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know, it's I'm about to go. I'm going to Breckenridge a week. 2 weeks from. I don't know. Very soon. We're going to Breckenridge soon. Surrounded by dispensaries, right? And it is interesting that that the legalization of cannabis took this long, I guess, and that's what they should do at a federal level: legalize cannabis, tax the shit out of it, and guess what? All of a sudden, we're out of debt.
Get out of the way.
Right?
Yeah.
But the thing is that I will say this about the cannabis: whatever cannabis they're serving now at these legal places cannot hold a stick or a joint to the cannabis that we used to get back in college, right? I mean, it's now commercialized, right? And again, I'm excited for it for sure. But it is a different product when you really commercialize it, right? But man, you're going to have a brewery, a dispensary.
Yes.
And Harmey's, I mean, this is becoming where it's at down there.
And with
the
our
dead end is where it's at.
With our event
well,
center.
but seriously, think about this.
Our event center, though, we want to have bags nights. We want to have poker tournaments, Texas Hold'em runs.
Yeah.
Fight nights.
Isn't that something?
Nights.
Yeah, isn't that something? I mean, so you've got these areas, these pockets of commercial activity at the lake. You've got the old strip, right? And bless their hearts, right? People are putting money in there, not just George Tucker, but other folks are investing big dollars down there, and that's exciting. And then you've got other pockets where you'll go to, where you've got this cluster of restaurants or bars, etc. And who knows? I mean, the Dead End sounds like it's becoming a spot, right?
Well, and they're going to extend that road out next year at Osage Beach Parkway. They're going to extend it out a quarter mile, so when you rather than taking the turn, you can exit right there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys kind of helped create that.
Yeah.
You know?
I like to think that.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, but seriously, I mean, the first time I came to the lake, I think I was out there, and I don't think you guys were there yet, but the Harley shop was there. And it's like, who the hell put a Harley shop out here? You know?
See, the Lebanon Harley shop's not there anymore, so they're coming up here.
Oh, okay.
And I said from day one, I want to make this end not the dead end anymore. So, so I'm glad you said that because I hope so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, very good. All right, so we're going to ask the unfair question, and the unfair question is, if you had to sum up a couple of lessons, right, for people that want to get into business, whatever that business is, right, take a risk and get into business, get into entrepreneurialism, what would those things be? What are some of those lessons that you can convey?
That's a very good question. And the reason I say that is because in my FFA working, at different times I'll go speak to FFAs. And they'll talk about entrepreneurship and this and that. And I always tell them the same thing, especially as a young business owner. And not that I did all of these, but having to do it over again, I would do this. The first thing I would do is try to get as debt-free as possible.
Yeah.
Because when you walk away from a paycheck and you're used to that paycheck, I know when I first started, literally, there was times that I'd have to go to the mailbox. Hopefully the check was in there in order to put gas to travel again.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're young, don't get that $40,000 car.
Yes.
Get that $5,000 car.
We've said that often. Yeah. Don't let your lifestyle outpace your paycheck.
Try to be debt-free as much as possible. Have a good attorney.
Yeah.
Have a good accountant, and plan to work your ass off.
Yeah.
And don't let people steal your dream.
Because I heard Magic Johnson say this one time: if you don't have a good attorney and a good accountant, you're going to need a good attorney and a good accountant to get you out of your problems.
Yeah.
And we made the mistake doing that too. I mean, we tried to cut corners and get a cheaper attorney, a cheaper accountant. And no, I mean, do your research. But
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. Not surprising though, for sure.
All right.
Yeah. Very good. Well, listen, again, give plugs on where to find Harmey's on the web, and also your business, your promotional business.
Well, you can find For Real, the number 4, and then realpromotions.com.
Okay.
So if you need any swag or bling or any of that, I can help you out with that.
Awesome.
And Harmey's Cheese Store is simply harmeyscheesestore.com, or you can find us at harmeyshooch.com. It will redirect you back to our store. And
nice. Very nice.
And any fundraising, Harmison's hometown fundraising. But
very good.
And we work with nonprofit organizations, band, choirs, little leagues, bands, you name it.
And how little is too little to do work with you guys?
We work with any organization. There's no minimums. We pre-pack everything.
You guys set it all up for them.
It makes sense items, not
nice.
No, cheese, sausage, cookie dough, chocolates.
Yeah,
and that's
awesome.
harmisonsfundraising.com.
Yeah,
yes,
very good, awesome. All right, well, listen, if you've not been, and I'll give a plug for Harmey's Cheese because I have been there, and it is amazing, right? And take your wallet because you're going to find a whole bunch of stuff that you're going to want to buy, and you're going to, a whole bunch of stuff that you need, right? And now it gets even worse because now we got the hooch, right?
Well, thank you
so much. Gotta try the hooch.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, awesome. Thanks,
thank
guys.
You.
Thank you so much.